Good morning, students. Welcome back to online classes. And this is the 5th class on the subject microprocessor and microcontroller. The last 4 classes we have discussed the introduction of the microprocessor and microcontroller, and we have discussed what is the difference between the microprocessor and microcontroller. From the last 2 classes onwards, we have studying the first unit, that is architecture of 8086 microprocessor, in which we started the first topic, that is pin diagram of 8086 microprocessor. As we discussed earlier, 8086 microprocessor is a 40 pin integrated circuit in which 40 pins, 32 pins serves the common function in various operations, various mode of operations, that are minimum mode of operation and maximum mode of operation, and the remaining 8 pins serves the specific function in case of minimum mode of operation and maximum mode of operation. The last classes we have studied the common mode signals or common mode pins, functionality of common mode pins, that are 32. In the last class we have discussed that one. In today's class I am going to explain the maximum mode signals. Before going to discuss about the maximum mode signals, what is the maximum mode of operation of a microprocessor we should know. When the microprocessor is associated with another coprocessor to perform some specific functions, then that mode of operation is named as maximum mode of operation. If a single processor, that is if only one 8086 microprocessor has been using to perform some functions, then that mode of operation is named as minimum mode of operation. So that from the microprocessor, that is 8086 microprocessor, we can have 2 modes of operation. One is maximum mode, another one is minimum mode of operation. First one we are going to study the maximum mode of operation. In the 8086 microprocessor, we can have 1 pin out of the 40 pins. We can find 1 pin. That pin is nothing but Mn or Mx bar. Mn indicates the minimum mode of operation, Mx bar indicates the maximum mode of operation. Whenever this pin is grounded, that means that is active low signal, then that microprocessor enter into the maximum mode of operation. Maximum mode of operation, that means this pin is grounded or this pin is connected with the logic 0, then that microprocessor enters into the maximum mode of operation. Whenever this pin is connected with the plus 5 volts or logic 1, then that is enters the same microprocessor enter into the minimum mode of operation. Coming to the maximum mode of operation, we are going to discuss about the maximum mode of operation, maximum mode signals. In the minimum mode and the maximum mode signals, there are 8 pins serves the specific functions, and that 8 pins are from 24 to 31 pins. Remaining 32 pins serves the common function in minimum mode and maximum mode, we have discussed in the earlier classes. Coming to the maximum mode signals or maximum mode pins, there are 8 maximum mode signals. Whenever this microprocessor has been operating in the maximum mode, this 8 pins serves some specific function, and that specific functions are given here. First 3 pins that gives the information about the bus cycle status. That is having the 3 status signals S0, S1 and S2. 3 status signals will give the status of bus cycles. And coming to the second signal, that is lock signal. These signals are nothing but maximum mode of signal. Whenever the processor is sharing the system bus to the coprocessor, and this log signal is going to give the information. Coming to the next one is a QS1 bar and QS0 bar. This is instruction queue status. It gives the information of the instruction queue status. And the last two signals are totally 8 signals, and the last two signals are request and grant signals. These are the bidirectional signals, and we are going to study the description of all these 8 signals. First type of signal in a maximum mode signal is, first type of signal in the maximum mode of signals are pins. This is bus cycle status signals. Bus cycle status signals, which are the output pins from 26 to 28. That means 26, 27 and 28. Then first type of signals in the maximum mode of operation, when the processor shares the system bus with the another coprocessor, that mode of operation is named as, that is maximum mode of operation. That is bus cycle status signals, which are 3 pins and 26, 27 and 28 pins. And these signals, these pins will give the which indicates the status of current bus cycle. That means what? During this current bus cycle, what the operation has been done by the processor can be explained by these 3 status signals. I hope I am clear. During the current bus cycle, what the operation has been done by the processor, that will be indicated by the bus cycle status signals, which are 3 pins 26, 27 and 28. And that information, these are three signals, that is S0, S1 and S2. These are the 3 signals, and these 3 signal status, these 3 signal information will be decoded by a decoder, that is 8288 bus controller decoder. 8288 bus controller decoder will decode the information from these 3 signals. And here we are having the 3 signals, so that we can have the 2 power 3 possible combinations of signals. 2 power 3 means 8 combinations of the signals, that is 000, 001, 0100, 111, 100, 101, 110 and 111. Then based on these signals, this 8288 bus controller is going to decode the information of current bus cycle. During the current bus cycle, what the operation has been done by the processor will be decoded by 8288 bus controller decoder. And during the first combination of inputs, if you decode that one, the 000 is decoded by the 8288 bus controller decoder, then that is nothing but interrupt acknowledge. That means what? Whenever these 3 signals these 3 signals are output signal, these 3 signals are with all the 3 zeros, then that means what? It is the process. So during this 000, that information decoded by the 8288, that means what? The processor has a request of an interrupt signal, that may be non-maskable interrupt or maskable interrupt, so that will give the acknowledge when it gets the interrupt from the input output device, so that it is 000 is nothing but interrupt acknowledge. Coming to the second combination of these bus cycle status signals, 001, this indicates this decodes the information, that is it will provide the read operation from the input output devices. That means data can be read from the input output port. And coming to the next one is 010, that is a write operation from the input output port, and 011, that is 8288 bus controller decodes the information during this combination, that is nothing but it is giving the information, it indicates the halt operation. Coming to the next one, 100, that 8288 bus controller decodes this information, and that indicates the fetching the instructions from the memory. And coming to the next one is 101, and read the memory. From the memory we can read the data, and we can 1110, that is into the memory we can write the data, and the last combination of this bus cycle status signals, that is 111, which is nothing but it is inactive. And coming to the all these operations will be decoded by the controller, that is 8288 bus controller decoder. Coming to the second category of the maximum mode of signal, which is nothing but Q status signal, which are two signals, and these are also the output signal, and these gives these signals indicates the status of key information of a queue. That means here we are going to have the status of queue, and it is nothing but information of a queue in the previous cycle and during the previous clock, and that gives the information of status of a queue and in the bus interface unit. And if you go with the two signals, that is QS1 and QS0, that is status Q signals, and we can have the four possible combination, that is 00, 01, 10 and 11. During the 00 there is no operation, that means that Q will be idle, and coming to the 01, first byte of the Q will be executed by the processor, and coming to the 10, that Q will be empty, and the last combination, that is other than first byte, already first byte of Q has been executed in the combination 01, and during the 11, then other than the first byte of Q will be executed by the processor, and the two signals in the maximum mode of operation is completed, that is bus cycle status signals, and that are 3 signals, and here Q status signals, that are 2 signals, and total 5 completed. And the next one is a clock signal, that is it is a active low signal. It is an input for the processor. When we are using the multiprocessors in the system, whenever 8086 microprocessor get the active low signal at this pin, then this is going to share the system bus to the coprocessor like 8087. Whenever this signal is get the active high, that is plus 5 volts or a logic 1, the system bus is not going to share with the coprocessor, so that on the request of the coprocessor, the system bus is going to be shared by the processor. Whenever this clock signal is logic 0, the system bus will be shared to the coprocessor. Whenever this is logic 1, the system bus is not going to share to the coprocessor. Coming to the two more signal, that is request and grant signal. These are the bidirectional signal, input output pins, and these are the bidirectional signal. Then coprocessor requests the system bus of a microprocessor, so that based on this request, that microprocessor is going to share the system bus, and in one clock pulse, and this coprocessor is going to request the processor to share the system bus. In another clock pulse, that processor is going to give the permission to use that system bus. That means it is giving the permission to use the system bus. During this clock, the coprocessor is going to use the system bus, and in another clock pulse, then the same microprocessor get back the system bus back, and so that it is not going to share the system bus unless again it gets the signal in the request and the grant signals. The maximum mode of signals, and now we have to discuss about the minimum mode of signals. And there are two modes of operation from the 8086 microprocessor, as we discussed earlier: minimum mode and the maximum mode. Maximum mode signals we have discussed, and now we are going with the minimum mode of signal. If no coprocessor is required to perform some specific functions, only single 8086 microprocessor is enough, and that mode of operation is named as minimum mode of operation. From the 40 pins, and we can have one pin that describes the minimum mode of operation and the maximum mode of operation. That pin is Mn by Mx bar, and here when this pin is with the place 5 volts or a logic 1, then that microprocessor enter into the minimum mode of operation. And in the minimum mode of operation and the maximum mode of operation, 8 pins serves the specific functions, and that 8 pins are from 24 to 31 we discussed earlier. In this minimum mode of operation, we are having the 8 signals or 8 pins which serves the specific function. First pin is interrupt acknowledge, next one is address latch enable, next one is data enable, next one is data transmitter and receiver, next one is memory input output, then write operation, hold acknowledgement, and hold. So we have to discuss the description of all these 8 pins, functionality of 8 pins with this minimum mode of operation and the maximum mode of operation of 8086 microprocessor is complete. First pin is interrupt acknowledge. This is an active low signal which is the output signal of 8086 microprocessor. It indicates the recognition of interrupt request. So we know that 8086 microprocessor can accept the 2 interrupts. One is a non-maskable interrupt, another one is maskable interrupt, that is interrupt signal, that is INTR. Whenever the microprocessor takes the interrupt signal using a pin that is non-maskable interrupt, it stops all the current processing and it accepts that interrupt. It serves that interrupt first, after that it resumes to its old operation. Whereas in non-maskable interrupt, whereas in interrupt, that is maskable interrupt, and this can be enabled and disabled by some instructions. Some set instruction is used to enable that instruction, some clear instruction is used to disable that particular interrupt signal. So that here interrupt acknowledge is nothing but it is an output pin or output signal from the 8086 microprocessor which indicates the recognition of an interrupt signal. It is an active low signal. It is an active low signal. Whenever this signal gives these, that is 0, indicates 0, that means some of the interrupts from a non-maskable interrupt and interrupt signal has been interrupted and the processor has been serving that particular interrupt signal. Coming to the second signal in case of minimum mode of operation, that is address latch enable ALE, and we have discussed in the common mode function signals, the first signal is address and data bus. These are the bidirectional bus and this is a time multiplexing signal. These are the time multiplexing signal, that means during one specific time interval, the same bus will carry the address information. During the another time clock pulses, then that the same bus will carry the information of data bus. And this same bus is carrying the address and as well as data information, that is based on the pin that is called address latch enable. Address latch enable. It demultiplexes the signal, that is address and as well as data. Whenever address latch enable is 1, whenever address latch enable signal is 1 and during the clock cycle, during the time period that is T1, the bus will carry the information of address. During the time period that is T2, that enters into the high impedance state because it is going to change its information from data address to data during the time T2. And coming to the T3 and T wait state, and it is going to carry the information of data. It is going to have the information of data based on address latch enable. Address latch enable, it demultiplexes the address and as well as data because the same bus is going to carry the information of address as well as data. Coming to the next pin in case of minimum mode of operation, that is data enable. It is an output pin of 8086 microprocessor. It enabling of the transceiver, and that transfer examples of 8286 and 8287. That means what? It enables the data. It enables the data from the transceivers, that is 8286 and 8287. These are the two examples for the transceivers. Coming to the next one is data transceiver. This is the data enable, and this one is data transmitter and receiver, and it is also the output signal. It is also the output signal of 8086 microprocessor. Whenever this signal is having the output of 1, whenever this signal is having the 1, that means the transceiver transmit the data from 8086 microprocessor. That transceivers, and we know that that is 8286 and 8287, that transmit the data from the 8086, that will transmit the data from the 8086 microprocessor. Whenever the same signal or whenever the same pin is 1, that provides the receiving function is from 8086 to the buffer. This transceiver is also named as buffer. That buffer is a tri-state buffer we have been using in the microprocessors. And next one is memory IO, and during this is a signal and it is an output signal, and whenever this is 1, which selects the memory operation, whenever this pin is 0, it selects the IO operation. Memory input output, that means what? And during this this gives the information of selecting the memory or IO operation, and whenever this signal is 1, it selects the memory operation. Whenever the signal is 0, that selects the IO operation. And the next one is write operation. This is nothing but it is the writing operation into the memory, and we know that single microprocessor cannot perform any function. It has to be interfaced with some input output devices like memory, some counters, some input output devices, and during this signal and it is makes the writing function into the memory, and it is an active low signal. And whenever this is logic 0, it write the function into the memory. And coming to the next one is hold acknowledge, and it is a request for the bus by the input output devices. Whenever the signal indicates 1, the CPU accept that request, so that it shares it is going to share the system bus to the input output devices. And whenever this is 0, the CPU is not going to accept that request, so that it won't share the system bus for the input output devices. And coming to the hold, and whenever the request is coming from this signal, it is going to give the acknowledge, and this is nothing but a hold signal, and which is nothing but it is a request for the bus, for the system bus for the input output devices are like DMA, direct memory access controller. That means what? Directly it can access the memory, and my bus can be accessed by the memory. And whenever this is 1, microprocessor stop executing the instructions. Whenever it 0, it can't hold that particular execution of instruction, so that it is going to execute the current instructions only. Like that we can have the specific function signals are 8 in minimum mode of operation and the maximum mode of operation. Minimum mode of operation there are 8 signals, and the maximum mode of operation there are 8 more signals, in which total 40 pins of microprocessor and 32 pins serves the common function, so that pins are named as common function signal, and remaining 8 pins serves the specific function in case of minimum mode and the maximum mode. And with this, the total 40 pin description is completed for the 8086 microprocessor. In coming class, we are going to discuss the architecture of 8086 microprocessor, that is nothing but internal structure of 8086 microprocessor, where we can see the CPU, where we can see some resistors, where we can see some system bus. Like that we can have the complete architecture of 8086 microprocessor. We are going to discuss that one in the coming class. Thank you.